Have you ever wondered about the untold stories of WWI, about the heroes that history forgot to mention? When we think about World War I, we often picture a world engulfed in chaos and conflict. It was a time when nations clashed and empires crumbled, a time of unprecedented upheaval and change. We remember the devastating battles, the trench warfare, the crimson poppies of Flanders fields. We recall the names of famous generals and brave soldiers who led their troops to victory or valiantly faced defeat. But the Great War was not just about mud and men, about the roar of cannons and the clash of steel. There were other heroes too, heroes whose stories remain largely untold, heroes whose contributions have been overlooked by the annals of history. These are the unseen heroes of World War I, the men and women, and even animals who played pivotal roles in this global conflict. They were the medics and nurses who toiled tirelessly in makeshift hospitals, saving lives amidst the carnage. They were the engineers and mechanics who kept the machines of war running, who built the tanks and planes that would change the face of warfare forever. They were the animals who served alongside their human comrades, carrying messages, detecting mines, and providing comfort in the darkest of times. And they were the women on the home front, who kept the factories running and the home fires burning, who stepped up to fill roles they had never imagined, roles that would redefine their place in society. These unseen heroes may not have been at the forefront of the battle, but they were crucial to the war effort. Their courage, their resilience, their ingenuity, and their dedication played a significant part in shaping the course of World War I. They are the forgotten faces of the Great War, the unsung heroes whose stories deserve to be told. As we delve deeper into the past, let us reveal the faces of these forgotten heroes. Imagine the trenches, the mud, the men, but did you know there were others who braved the same conditions? Yes, it's true, the trenches of World War I were not only filled with men, but also with creatures of fur and feather. These animals, often overlooked in the annals of history, played crucial roles in the war effort. Carrier pigeons, for example, were vital for communication. With their unerring sense of direction, they delivered messages across enemy lines, often under heavy fire. Dogs, too, were indispensable. They detected mines, delivered supplies, and even acted as sentinels. But perhaps their most important role was one of companionship. In the harsh reality of the trenches, these animals provided a much-needed morale boost. A wagging tail, a soft cooing. These were the small comforts that offered a brief respite from the grim realities of war. In the darkest corners of the trenches, these animals became beacons of hope. From the muddy trenches, let's soar high into the sky. The heroes here had wings, not uniforms. In the heart of World War I, a unique band of soldiers took flight. They bore no arms, wore no medals, but their contributions were no less heroic. These were the homing pigeons of the Great War. These avian messengers became the lifeline for soldiers on the battlefield, delivering crucial communications across enemy lines. One such hero was Cher Ami, a pigeon who flew 25 miles in just 25 minutes despite being shot and losing a leg, to deliver a message that saved the lives of nearly 200 soldiers. Then there was G.I. Joe, another pigeon who, in the nick of time, relayed an urgent message to stop a deadly Allied bombing on their own troops. These feathered soldiers, braving bullets and storms, were truly the unsung heroes of the skies. Behind every soldier, there was a woman keeping the home fires burning. This is the untold story of the women who shaped the course of World War I. Not on the battlefields, but on the home front. As the men marched off to war, women stepped into their shoes, filling roles previously thought only suitable for men. They became the backbone of the home front, working tirelessly in factories, farms, and offices, keeping the wheels of society turning while the world was at war. In particular, the munitions factories became a vital part of the war effort. Thousands of women traded their domestic lives for the dangerous work of manufacturing bullets and bombs. Known as the munitionettes, they bore the risks of handling explosives, facing long hours and hazardous conditions with unwavering resolve. Despite the danger, they worked with the knowledge that every bullet they made could mean a life saved on the battlefield. But their heroism didn't stop at the factory gates. Many women also served as nurses, providing crucial care to the wounded soldiers returning from the front lines. They tended to the broken bodies and spirits of men scarred by the horrors of war, their gentle hands and calming words often the only comfort these soldiers found. These women showed remarkable resilience, strength, and courage, performing their duties under the most challenging circumstances. They not only kept the home front running, but also paved the way for future generations of women, proving that they were capable of much more than society had previously allowed. They were the unsung heroines of the Great War, their contributions often overlooked in the grand narratives of history. But their impact was undeniable. They were the essential cogs in the machinery of war, the silent force that kept the nation afloat in its darkest hour. With every bullet they manufactured, every wound they nursed, these women too were fighting the war. In the grand tapestry of WWI, these threads often go unnoticed. Yet, as we've journeyed together through the unseen narratives, it's become clear that these threads hold significant value. They weave a story of unsung heroes, of courage and resilience that shaped the course of the war, and ultimately, the world we live in today. We've explored the trenches, not just as muddy battlefields, but as the living quarters for men and animals alike. The war horses, messenger pigeons, and even the humble canary, all served alongside soldiers. Their roles, often overlooked, were crucial in maintaining morale, delivering urgent messages, and ensuring safety in the hazardous conditions of the tunnels. We've taken to the skies with the Skyward Soldiers, those brave aviators who risked their lives in the then fledgling field of aviation. Their daring exploits, though not as widely celebrated, were instrumental in reconnaissance and in shaping the future of aerial warfare. We've also felt the resilience of the women on the home front. Their tireless work in factories, nursing stations, and even in the fields kept the nations running while the men were away at war. Their strength and determination not only contributed to the war effort, but also paved the way for women's rights and societal roles. Each of these stories, these threads, serve as a powerful reminder that the narrative of war extends beyond the battlefield. It takes a collective effort, from the smallest bird to the bravest woman, to endure the hardships of war. And so, as we remember the Great War, we must also remember these forgotten heroes. Their courage, their sacrifices, and their stories deserve to be recognized and celebrated. In the grand narrative of history, their contributions have not been in vain. In war, every act of courage counts, no matter how small, no matter how forgotten. Today, we remember them. Their legacy lives on, woven into the tapestry of our shared human experience, reminding us of the depths of courage and resilience we can reach when faced with the trials of war.